champ. So something pretty cool happened the last couple of days. So I got back from the Dubai Mastermind on Monday afternoon, and Tuesday was when I opened the doors for people to come and work with me at Scale 20 for the next 12 months. And I have a notification set up on my phone, or I have a notification automation set up. So when someone joins Scale 20, I get a text message and an email and a Slack notification. So I get coverage on everything. And it's a notification that says, congrats, you got a new client in Scale 20, go send them a video message. And the other day, on Tuesday, and then again on Wednesday, I saw two names which I never expected to see pop up. So let me give you some context. It was May 2023, and I was living in that building there on the 6th floor, and I just decided to leave the agency that I was co-running. I couldn't pay rent, so unfortunately that landlord quite frequently wouldn't get any payments from me, and I had no money, and life was the toughest it had ever fucking felt. I decided to move away from the agency. I took a couple of our clients with us who I was having success with. Unfortunately, a few months later, I was having so much success with one of my clients. The profit share deal that we had wasn't a good enough deal for him, so he sacked me. Just sent me an email and was like, sorry, we're done. Never heard from him again. And that was a good sign because I'd made him loads of money. But I was in a position where I was like, fuck, this is an emergency situation. And what I did was I tapped into what I believe to be the number one trait of successful entrepreneurs, which is resourcefulness. So I had about 9,000 followers on Twitter at the time, on X, and I didn't have much of an audience on YouTube. I think I had about 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 subscribers on YouTube. Not super active. And that was it. No followers on Instagram, nowhere else. But I was trying to post on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Spotify, YouTube. I was trying to post on all of those platforms and getting nowhere. And I was like, okay, I need to be resourceful because I need some money desperately. So what I did was I had an idea. I reached out to a bunch of creators on X, on Twitter at the time, and I asked if they would if they'd be happy to be interviewed by me on my podcast. I came up with this idea called the Solopreneur Summit, where I would, and over the space of 2 weeks, every day, I would interview one of the biggest names in the creator economy. I reached out to a bunch of creators. Most of them said yes, which was incredible. And I interviewed them on Twitter Spaces, and it was absolutely epic. I got to meet some really cool people. Now, two of those people at the time were creators who I looked up to tremendously. One was Ross Harkness, who I believe to be one of the best multi-platform creators in the world. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, go check it out. You will be amazed at the level of content that he creates over there. And another one was Toby Montolli, who is one of the world's super dads. And I met these guys. I met Ross for coffee in London. He came to London. He was in London in July 2023, and I went and had coffee with him. And I remember asking him, I was like, dude, like, you've got a huge audiences on all platforms. And I was like, how have you done this? Because I'm not getting anywhere on anything. And he said to me, and I've talked about this before, you can post on all platforms, but you can only grow on one at a time. And I'll never forget that, because it was such simple advice. But from that moment on, I dropped X, I dropped TikTok. I just focused on YouTube and Instagram. I dropped X, dropped LinkedIn, dropped TikTok. So it was just Instagram and YouTube. And guess what? 2 years later, I've actually fucking grown on both of those. So doubled my audience on YouTube, 10x'd my audience on Instagram. And the craziest thing happened. Now I talk about this to my clients, and I've talked about this in my content, this idea of our job with content is to, as a guide, as an online expert, our job isn't to convince people to work with us. Our job is to just be there when it's now. Be there when the time is right for them to want to work with us. And I say to people, like, typically half of your audience are never going to buy from you, ever. And then the other half, you don't know if they're going to buy with you today or buy from you in 2 years' time. And there's a spectrum. And it could be in 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years, who knows? And keep in mind that, I met these guys nearly 2 years ago, but yesterday and the day before I saw Ross's name and Toby's names pop up as new clients to work with me in Scale 20 to help them grow their business. And I can't tell you how incredible that felt to see those names and to know that I'm going to get the opportunity to work with them closely, but also just validation that if you play the long game, the right people will turn up in your world. I cannot believe the caliber of clients that have now joined Scale 20 in the last couple of weeks. Some of the best creators on earth, without a doubt. And I'm grateful as fuck, because when I was living in that tower, life was really fucking hard. And all I was going off at that time was just sheer belief that one day things would all work out. And it's crazy to think that in the last 3 months in Q1, and if we add Q4 from last year, so in the last two quarters, I've made more money in the last 2 quarters than I have in the last 5 years combined. Just kind of wild to think. And the cool thing is, it's not about money for me. Never has been, never will be. It's about helping people truthfully get the freedom that they desire. And whatever that means to you, whatever that means to them, I'm just on a mission to help them. We had our Q2 kickoff yesterday, and yeah, the vibes were high. There's been a huge amount of momentum within the client community. Everyone is just killing it right now. But yeah, my aim is that by the end of this year, we should have at least. Again, it depends on I'm looking for at least 10 people. 10 of my clients have reached the 100K mark per month. Right now, we've probably got about 7 or 8 that could do it, and I'm going to be fucking making sure they do it. But we should be bringing on a bunch more over the rest of the year who will also be able to do it. So yeah, just kind of wanted to share that with you, because to be honest with you, I never expect to see Toby's or Ross's names pop up like that. And yeah, just kind of full circle moment. I was stuck there feeling like fucking living like I was in a living hell, and now it just feels like I'm just living in a dream, and it's fucking sick. And I hope, and I pray that one day that you will get this too. And I know it's possible, because I'm not the only one. Everyone in Scale 20 as well. is crushing it. So yeah. Okay, so very soon, just wanted to give you a heads up. We're very close now to kind of what's going to happen on the YouTube channel, which is going to be a split in content. So this channel is going to be from now on like kind of like more edited, polished content, more YouTube style. And I'm going to be starting another channel, which I don't know if I'm going to promote. You might just have to come and find it. But that's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, right, that was sick. I'll see you in the next one.